Hello, I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours, and I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour because you got to pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you.
Y'all, this is just some advice from your friendly neighborhood tour guide. Don't date someone who you're going to have to babysit for your entire vacation. Nobody will enjoy that trip. So I had a guy on my tour tonight that I knew he was a problem the moment he walked in. And it was very obvious because, one of the other tour guides signed him in, but the second I came over, he's asking me repeatedly, can I bring drinks on the tour? And I keep stating, yes, you can, but I need you to stay sober enough to be on the tour. That means you cannot be disruptive, you need to be able to be quiet when I'm telling stories, and you need to not be a problem. And I usually don't go into all that, but I could get the vibes, so I was being very clear with him from the very start. And he kept repeating, but I can get drinks. I can bring drinks with me. And I'm like, yes, you can, but don't get drunk. And at one point, he slaps his girlfriend on the tush and says, oh, don't worry. She's loud when she's sober. I'm loud when I'm drunk. And I'm like, why would I not, oh my God. And so I'm actually quite happy when they go across the bar just because I don't really want to hang out with them at that moment. And then one of the other tour guides came back from the bar where he had gone to pee, and he gets to tell me that my dude is in there harassing the bartender and screaming at her, and meanwhile insulting his girlfriend while he's screaming at the bartender and saying things like, oh, you gotta get my girl a drink or she'll beat you up. And the girlfriend is so embarrassed. And I'm like, cool, this is going great. And the tour has not even started yet. But finally, when the tour does start, the first thing I have to do is all of that group were smoking either cigarettes or cigars. And, I did the spiel where I mentioned, if you're going to smoke, step to the side, aim for downwind. And I look at them all and they're all nodding. I'm like, guys, you are all upwind. So I had to pause and be like, okay, we're going to move the people who are smoking downwind and the people who don't want to be smoking upwind. And I literally am physically waving people to which side they need to be on. And still, somehow, it is a struggle bus. But we finished the first story and it's mostly okay. He does keep trying to interrupt 3 or 4 times, but every time he does, his girlfriend will just sort of tap him and go, shh, and it's okay. And then at the next stop, he's interrupting more and more and more. And this poor girl is sitting there slapping her hand over his mouth every time he opens it. Because these are not just casual interruptions. A lot of them are bad jokes. And I will admit, I do not remember most of them because I talked over them. But what I heard kept having me go, oh God, not that joke. Don't be making fun of the victims of this crime. What is wrong with you? But, so that was not great. The one of his jokes I did actually hear, because he chose a good time to say it. It was at a call and response moment. Because I do a stop that is just about basic architecture things. And I ask people, what do you think this structure is? And he immediately started saying, a whorehouse. It's a whorehouse. It's a brothel. It's a bordello. It's a cat house. He went through every single euphemism for a whorehouse that I have ever heard of. And I'm just sitting here no. It's a gallery. What is wrong with you? But okay, sure, whatever. And then we get to the bar break. And I came so close just skipping the bar break tonight. But I had already mentioned to several of the guests that we were going to have a break halfway through. So I felt like it would be inappropriate for me to just be like, nah, bitch, we ain't doing that. So I get us there and I am skimming the story because I don't have time. There have been enough interruptions already that I'm running late. So I'm just like, okay, this is the basics. This is the drinks that they have. Don't get the purple drink. It is very purple. It is very alcoholic. It's a lot more than you think it is. And everybody goes in the bar, and the girlfriend stays outside. And I know good and well she was staying with me to apologize to me, because she literally just turns and is like, I'm so fucking sorry. And I'm like, I get it. You are trying your best. You are containing him. You mostly have a good handle on him. It's okay. And she's like, and don't worry, I have his wallet. He can't get drinks. And we're just chatting, having a good time. And suddenly she looks up about halfway through the bar break and goes, motherfucker. Because somehow he got a damn drink. And not just any drink. Yes, he got a purple drink. And I'm just like, oh my God, why? But okay, it's gonna be okay. And as we leave the bar break, we are so loud walking down Bourbon Street that we sound like we're in the chaotic end of Bourbon Street and we're in the calm end. So when we're about to turn off of Bourbon Street, I literally just do a pause and go, guys, we're about to pass by a lot of other tours who are in the middle of their stories, and this is a serious story, so I need you not to interrupt them, which means I need you to be quiet as we pass by the others' groups. And everyone goes quiet, except for this one guy. And once again, he is talking, and specifically he's going, I can be silent. Hear how silent I am? Isn't it amazing how silent I am? Isn't it amazing how quiet I can be? Aren't y'all impressed with how quiet I can be? And his girlfriend had been walking with me, and at this point she sort of puts her face in her hand and turns and walks back, and I sort of see out of the corner of my eye her grabbing him and pulling him into the street to have a discussion with him. And they caught up at the next stop and came and joined, and he was mostly well behaved during that stop. Like, there were a couple of moments that I heard him talking and I heard her immediately going, shut up. And we make it through that stop. It's okay. And I'm like, okay, I can make it through this tour. I'm not going to have to kick him off. This is so nice. And then the second to last stop is when I really should have kicked him off. I really should have. And I know that, but she was trying her best to be on this tour and enjoy herself, and I did not want to ruin her evening. So I was like, okay, we're going to try. And him and his friend kept standing in the middle of the road, and I kept having to turn to be like, guys, step up on the sidewalk. And she would literally at one point got to the point that she'd just walk over and physically haul him back onto the sidewalk. And on top of that, he's standing right behind me, so I can hear him and his friend talking the entire time. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I heard a couple of like random snide comments. I'm like, dude, not appropriate. But it's fine. It's fine. And finally, we're going to head to the last stop. And once again, I stopped to do a quick reminder of the rules, guys. You've got to be quiet until the end of the story. We will have time to chat at the end of the story, but I need to make it through the story, and I need to be able to hear myself think. But we start walking, and once again, they're sort of hovering in the back, and we're only like 3 steps further on when I can hear that what the girl is doing is she is pretty much shouting at this guy, oh my God, shut the fuck up. You are such a problem. You are ruining this tour for everybody else. You've got to be quiet. And dude keeps just replying with, her, I guess I'm loud. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. And at one point she loses her temper and starts shouting nuh-uh back at him. And I'm like, oh my God, I have grown-ass toddlers fighting on my tour. And to make it even worse, at this moment, I can see one of my coworkers is standing on one side of the road, one of my coworkers is on the other side of the road with his group, and one of my coworkers is across the corner. So, like, all around me are my coworkers, and I can just see them looking at me being like, can you control your guests? And I'm like, no, I can't. But I finally get us to the last stop, and it actually seems perfectly fine. And I was like, okay, this is good, because the drunk guy and his friend went to the other side of the road, and I'm like, okay, they're over there. They're not that disruptive. We can keep talking. And I do keep seeing out of the corner of my eye, the girl keeps looking over, and she looks like she's about to walk over there and stab him, but it's okay. I'm doing the story, and then something really loud comes by, a bike with a speaker blasting music, and I have to pause to let them go by. And following along right behind them are 2 of the mule buggies. And they are heading back to their stables at the end of the night. Nobody's in the buggies, and that means they're moving at a good pace. And I hear the woman scream, oh my fucking Lord Jesus, don't. And I look over, and dude has stepped out into the road and is trying to block the mule buggy so he can pet the mule. And his girlfriend is shouting like, you do not touch other people's animals without permission. They have told you not to do that. And she is walking over there and dragging him onto the sidewalk, and I'm sitting here like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I pause briefly to be like, yeah, don't touch people's animals without their permission. Like, obviously. But they're over there, and I'm like, I'm just going to finish the fucking story at this point. So I just keep going, and she comes back and is joining the group again, and like, oh God, the anger is radiating off this woman, and I don't blame her. And we finally get done with the story, and I start my conclusion, and the first thing I say is, okay, and that's the end of the tour. And she says, thank the Lord Jesus. And I sort of look at her, and she's like, I don't mean because, you did great. And I'm like, honey, I know. If I could get away with having said, thank the Lord Jesus at the end of this tour, I would have as well. But yeah, so, don't date those guys. You deserve a rest. All of you out there. And I have seen moments where boys had to babysit their girlfriends. The important thing is, don't date someone you're going to have to babysit on your vacation. And if you are dating them, don't bring them on a tour, please.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below.